All right, happy to be joined by Olivia Biven of UofL Sports. What assistant AD of licensing
Yeah,
and
yeah, creative brand and licensing. So a lot of fun stuff.
yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, it's
It's
great to see you.
it's been a lot, been a bit since we've connected. But
Yes.
tell me a little bit of what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I'm starting year, let's see, two, three, four, five. No, I'm starting year four. Yeah, year four at U of L. Since I was at Western Kentucky previously with you for a long time. And then I got here at U of L and was the director of brand marketing and licensing. So I really just oversaw like all of our licensing, merchandise, spent a lot of time with our Adidas partnership, and then a lot of bigger things that kind of touched our overall brand. And then that job has since evolved in the last couple years to where I now oversee all of our creative services, so our photo design team and our video team, and then continue to do our licensing and some overall brand management for us too as well. But yeah, lots of fun stuff. I mean, behind me is like beer, bourbon, footballs. A lot of fun stuff, but it's been a great time. I mean, I know I went to Western, I was a Hilltopper, but I grew up a Louisville fan and I've always been a Louisville fan. And it's kind of this place is kind of what got my love for college sports in the first place. So it's kind of cool, full circle moment to be back here and be back in the city that I'm from. And a part of a Power Four school at a big time conference, and so it's been
Sure.
been super fun.
Yeah, so tell me the difference. So from the time we worked together
Yeah.
at WKU, obviously we went through COVID, and then you went to U of L.
Yep.
A lot has changed in college sports since COVID.
Hmm.
You've got the new transfer rules, but more importantly, NIL has
Hmm.
become a huge
Yeah.
topic. Tell me how that transition from going from WKU to when we didn't have those rules in place
Yeah.
to U of L, and now this is a topic of conversation.
Yeah, the transition has been, I mean, I think really in the last, honestly, it was kind of spiking up a little bit for my transition to Western to here. And then, I mean, now, that like everything has really changed like in the last year. So, um, I mean, it's a totally different industry than it was when me and you
Right.
were together. It has totally changed. But I still do believe, like, even though, that these student athletes are making money, the student athlete experience is still tried and true. And so I think a lot of us try to stick to the fact that, just because they're making money now doesn't mean that we still don't provide the same student athlete experience that we provide. We still don't try to get them college degrees. And yes, it's harder when they're coming in as a transfer now and being here for 1 year and leaving, or maybe they have a degree from somewhere else. It's a lot of different things to navigate that we never had to deal with before. Um, but it doesn't mean that, the student athlete, the amateurness of it has totally gone away, that a lot of people believe it has. I think really what has truly changed from when me and you, I mean, obviously the level that we were at is a lot different than the level here,
Right.
with this pressure, brand awareness, and things like that from that standpoint. But I really think that the biggest thing and the best thing about all of it has just been like where college sports stands now and where brands can reach, not just through the Louisville logo or the Western Kentucky logo. I now have all of these branches through these student athletes who hold their own brands, and are, viral on TikTok or whatever it may be, that now represent us as well, and that can help us ultimately, grow our brand as well, and create some brand equity. And so that's been so great for us. And we've been, trying to be as proactive as we can be. But I think it's true to say that like everyone's navigating this different world of college sports at the same time that you
Right.
are. So you think you're like, am I doing it wrong? You have to remember that no one else knows what they're doing either, and we're all doing this for the first time. And so we really try to say that as we navigate some of these waters where we're like, well, blah blah blah's doing this, but we're like, but they don't know what they're doing either. So they're just trying it to see if it works, and then we'll try what we think will work for us. And trying to have that different perspective, I think, of just knowing, it's going to change. Um, I say all the time that like the pendulum has swung so far different from what it was. And it may, swing back much towards the middle of what college sports used to be, but it will never be the same.
Right.
Um, and we have to know what's changed and adapt to what's changed and do what's best for our institution. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's almost like a brain fog when I think of COVID and what we went through during that time in college sports, especially. I mean, me and you were getting, stuff, a
That
Q-tip
was the worst. COVID was the
shoved
worst.
up our nose like 3 times a day. And so like I think of that time and then I think of like now and I'm like, God, what was COVID? When was that? That feels like a decade ago because now we're just dealing with so many other different variables within college sports. But honestly, it's exciting, right? Like I did this career, this industry because it's ever changing. It's constantly has some sort of chaos to it. It's never the same thing every time you come to work. And so, if it was really just going to always stay the same, the rules were never going to bend, the rules were never going to change, then I probably should have went to like a corporate desk job that was
Right.
to five and like I got the same thing every day and I got into this for it not to be that and so it definitely has its challenges but I think college sports is in a really good spot. I mean obviously financially people you see a lot of headlines but we're doing what we can to make it work and be super competitive and win national championships.
Right. Right. So before we kind of go back we'll touch on some memories at WKU. Tell me
Yeah.
about so we were talking about COVID. Since COVID, since we last worked together, you've obviously had a lot of changes. You went to U of L, you've been married, you've had a baby.
Yeah.
Just tell me how God's worked through your life, like bringing you through all that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, we got married in June of 2022. Me and my husband we bought a house in Bowling Green during COVID and got that really pretty 3% interest rate. And we loved our life in Bowling Green and I think we always thought like maybe we would get back to Louisville. Um, would it ever work out for us? And then in June of 22, we got married. In August of 22, my uncle passed away, and me and my uncle were really tight. He has 2 sons, and I was like, the daughter he never had, and we were really, really, really close. And it was very unexpected, complications from a surgery, and he lives here in Louisville. And I thought to myself, I was just like, when it happened, I was just like, I had to drive there. I didn't, he had already passed by the time I got to the hospital. And then I thought of like, my aunt being by herself and me and her are very close. And then I was just like, maybe we need to think more about getting to Louisville. But I was just like, I got a good gig at Western. My husband had a good job at the time too. And then I'd heard that this position was opening at Louisville and my boss now, me and her had networked through, obviously just being in the industry. And she always told me, like, hey, you let me know when you want to come to Louisville, um, and we'll work something out.
Right.
And so I had heard rumors that this job was going to open. And so I reached out to her and she was like, I didn't think you'd want that job. Like, I thought you'd want to come here and, be at the same, leadership level that you are at Western. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think I'm ready for a change. I just think like my uncle passing kind of was like, um, a different perspective for me. But then also I was like, it's just never going to work out, that I'm going to get a job in sports because you know how this industry is. Like you usually have to move,
Yeah.
to not, a place that you want to move to just to get your next gig. And then my husband had a good job, was working for a good company, and you have to be able to transfer within that company and just hope that there's an opening at an
Right.
account at that other location. And then, you know, we got married in June. My uncle passed in August, and this all just like happened in September, like perfectly. It was like, I mean, it truly was like, I mean, kind of was like God put it on a platter and like handed it to me, like I had these thoughts in my head of like, it would be cool, but like there's no way it'll work. Like it's like in a perfect world, like this would all work out perfectly.
And God's will opened up.
Yeah, and it all worked out perfectly, like and I can only just be, so grateful for that and I do think it was something much larger than me that kind of, handpicked, that situation for us to know that it was the right decision for us.
Right.
And for me, you know me, I'm pretty driven, pretty ambitious. That's always been my personality. And so, coming to a job that wasn't exactly like I was leaving at Western, was, I was going to be taking a step back. I was going to have to, build myself back up into,
Right.
a leadership position. And so, but it was good. It was good change for me. I needed to be challenged, and it was good change, and it was great. I'm here for my family, which is awesome. And then, yeah, then we have a baby, and I mean, truly, I mean, you can't imagine it better. We had a son this past year. He's 14 months, and I live 5 minutes from one grandma and 5 minutes from the other grandma. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't, it's truly like, and I want to be, you know, the girl in sport that doesn't, give up this very chaotic, not your 9 to 5 career, weekend career, feel like I need to sacrifice that to be a mom. Like I feel like I can still be a really great mom and then still do this. And I don't know how realistic that would be if I wasn't here,
Mhm.
and I didn't have the support that we have here. And so like really all of that happening, and I just look back at it and I'm just like, wow, like, look at God.
Mhm.
Like that was just it was exactly what was supposed to happen to our family in that moment to now give us, what we have now,
Right.
which is just, a beautiful family, great jobs, and surrounded by our family, which is awesome.
That's awesome, Olivia. I'm so proud of you for just hearing where you're at now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some times at Western. Give me your what were your best moments at Western? Whether it's best experience or
Yeah.
the, if you had like a top five.
A top five. Oh my gosh. It was funny. The other day we did like a staff professional development thing, and we went around the room and said, like, what was that moment for you that clicked that like, oh yeah, like this is, my career, this is my, this is my job, this is so cool. And I brought up the moment where it was 2019. We hosted the first and second rounds of the
Yes.
volleyball tournament
Yes.
in NCAA's. And I had to explain the backstory. Like I was like, we never were gonna be in the position to host because we didn't play a hard enough schedule. We fought, we campaigned that like we should be hosting the first and second rounds, even though, our strength of schedule was different compared to others. And so then we hosted it, I was like, we hosted Louisville. We went to a 5 set, like, you know, crazy game in the
Sold out
second.
arena.
Yes, in a sold out Diddle Arena. I was like, our head coach, Travis Hudson, was like totally an empath, but like he came out, and saw the crowd and was, immediately got emotional. And like that was just those moments where you were just like, this was so cool. Like a small community like Bowling Green came together for a sport that, really Coach Hudson has worked so hard to grow, but that isn't as popular as what we would always sell, I think. And it was just a pinch me kind of moment to where like, you see your hard work like really pay off, which I think was awesome. Um, I don't know, like every bowl trip is what really comes to my mind. Like I just loved every bowl trip because we did spoil the crap out of our staff. Like we took everyone on a bowl trip. And we all had the time of our lives, and I just felt like that's where we all really bonded was on bowl trips, and we always just had a great time. And I feel like Boca Raton, like 2016, was like one of my favorite bowl games, where I felt like was I was that was like my transition year of going from working at football and then going to marketing full time, and I just felt like that was like my moment of where I really felt like marketing was kind of like where I was supposed to belong, but I don't know. It was, and then, it's probably just the people. Like that's what, kept us there so long was really just the people. Like they're just really unmatched in the community and the love for the Hilltoppers. But no, those were a few moments. I feel like there's more. I just, COVID really mushes up your brain during that time
Right.
period.
Right.
But
No, the it's funny when I was talking to Mo
yeah,
that volleyball
is that the
NCAA
same moment
tournament.
he said?
No, that's one that I said that
Yeah.
to sell that arena out for
Yep,
volleyball, I think really speaks to the community and
right.
what Coach Hudson has built around there. Uh,
Totally.
it's funny you mentioned Boca. That my wife, 7 months pregnant, we ride down on a bus to get down to Boca.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we got to fly back. But
I
um,
drove, I flew back, but at our time, one of the coaches, like family members lived in Florida and it was in Boca and it was right at Christmas time.
mhm,
And so they were like, we're not flying back with the team. We're staying for the holidays, but we need our car. So again, I explained that transition of like me and my career where that was
right,
still kind of the one that was like, I'll do anything.
right.
Uh, and I drove his car from Bowling Green all the way to South Beach. Wait, hold on. Am I getting that mixed up? No, I'm totally getting that mixed up with the Miami Beach Bowl. That was a good one too.
That was a good one too. Beat
That was a
Charlie
good one too.
Strong. You know,
Yes, yes,
that was
yes.
fun.
That was a good one too. That bowl game doesn't even like when we had that experience, I was like, this bowl game will never exist again. They have all of these college football players in the nicest hotel in Miami. Uh, that'll never happen again.
You
But
know
yeah,
what I'm most just like happy about in my time at Western, and
what?
you can appreciate this. It's that after almost 10 years, I never had a youth kid on. If we're doing something with a tunnel, I never had a youth kid run over by the football team. It's like that was my biggest fear. It's like
Yep.
somebody's gonna get run over. We're gonna get sued.
There's only one of me, and there's like 30 of you. Just stay back.
Yep.
Don't get burnt by the fire, and
Step
don't get
back,
run
and
over
you
by the
know what they
football.
do. You line them up, and then the kids at the end they can't see, so they just kind of bend in. And you're
I
like, oh
get it.
my gosh, somebody's gonna get run over here,
I get it.
and it's
I
gonna be
get it.
awful.
I do remember one of the worst moments was when we got our brand new video board and it was the very first game and everything went wrong with the video board and it was awful and I was so mad and I just remember going to Mo's office and I think I sat in there for like 3 hours post game because I was just so mad and we were just talking and I was just like I can't even go home. Like I'm just livid. But it's so funny because like when you kind of get out of that game, because I'm not doing, as much of like the game day marketing fan
Right,
experience stuff that I used to do, like I think to myself, like, "Oh, why did I get so mad? Like nobody noticed. It
right.
was just me."
Yeah, it's we recognize it, but
Yeah,
normally in the
exactly.
crowd, it's like whatever. It's all
Exactly.
right. So
Exactly.
tell me about U of L. One, I've got to ask, are you on the decision to make the UK U of L game November 11th?
No, I'm not. No. No,
What's up
it's
with
the
that?
I know it's the earliest we've ever played.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. I know, and I kind of forgot that it was so soon until we're working on an activation at the game with Adidas, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, the game on 11/11. Okay, yeah, like who are we playing?" And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot.
holy
Why are
crap! That's not
why
the
are we playing
football,
them?
not the
Yeah, why
football
are we?
game. That's the basketball
Yeah,
game,
I know, I know. We're literally playing them before we play them in football.
right?
It's crazy. No, not me. Wasn't me.
Okay. Second question about basketball: are you taller than Pat Kelsey?
No, I'm not. I'm not taller than Pat Kelsey.
How close? Like,
No, 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 no.
I
He's the best
know,
human on the planet. I just actually left the practice gym. Most energetic guy ever. What you see on camera is exactly how he is in person.
I know. It's crazy. We went from Patino Calipari rivalry to Kelsey Pope, which are like the two biggest nerds. Like, it's
Yep.
hard. It's hard to get amped up about the rivalry because we
Mhm.
got such two lovable dudes.
Yeah, they are. They both are great, lovable dudes.
So y'all are off to a strong start in football.
Hmm.
Got Bowling Green State this weekend.
Hmm.
What are you
Yes, we
thinking?
do. Yeah, I mean, Coach Brom, as some of the people probably watching this saw him a lot in Bowling Green, and he's, an offensive genius and killing it. We have, these. I think it'll be really be, what we really look like, after this week when we kind of get into our ACC schedule. But got Bowling Green this weekend. Bowling Green beat Liberty. Like they're not a bad team. And so they have a cat. They have a cat mascot. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I thought they were
His
the
name is
Bowling State Falcons or something
Yeah,
like that.
they're the Falcons or the Eagles. But they have a cat. His name is Pudge, and he's coming to the game.
Oh, okay.
And and we
Might have something with the U of L mascot. Sense that there.
little cardinal cat thing going on. No,
Right.
he's really cute. He has a bunch of followers on Instagram. But no, should be a good weekend. Got a noon kick tomorrow. There's a big heavy metal music festival in Louisville this weekend, Louder Than
Oh,
Life.
louder than life.
Yeah, and we're right next to each other. So usually if we have a home game, during those festivals, we try to get it as early as possible just to help with the traffic. But the noon kick should be beautiful. It's gonna be hot. Um, but no, should be a good game, but I think we'll be all right.
Good deal. Well, Liv, certainly happy to catch up with you, and
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure. Um,
yeah, totally.
best of luck to you, and
Thank you.
as a child comes on.
Yeah. Oh, I finally got one.
You want to say how to live? You remember Liv?
Oh my gosh.
There's Haddon.
Hi.
No,
I like
best of
your
luck.
shirt.
Best of luck to you and U of L this weekend and going forward. And hopefully we can catch up and just whenever talk about
Yeah.
whether U of L's in the college football playoff or they just lost to UK, whatever. Hopefully we can catch
Yeah,
up about
we'll be beating UK and we'll be in the college football playoff too.
it. All right, Livy.
All right.
Appreciate it so much.
Yep, good to see you.